I'm meteorologist Chicago Windler. We have a tornado warning that has been issued for Bastrop County, the community of Smithville, as well as in Bastrop County in Rosanke. Those are the two areas of biggest concern that I want to make sure that you're aware of with a tornado warning, and there is potential of seeing a developing tornado, if not a tornado already on the ground. And it's with this storm that's near Smithville, Highway 71. I just heard from someone who is within that tornado warning area who said that there is currently some hail that is starting to fall. So if you are in the Smithville area, I need you to be in that safe spot immediately, as there is a pretty good indication per radar that there is some rotation and potentially a possible tornado. To be honest with you, this looks quite suspicious in terms of potential for a tornado. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the velocity, and this is going to show you where there is some rotation within this storm. And at this point, if you are in areas between Smithville and Cistern and heading into Fayette County, I need you to be in your safe spot immediately with the potential of a possible tornado. Smithville area, Rosanke area, this is southern and southeastern sections of Bastrop County, where there's a pretty good indication of rotation. And here's the hook echo between Rosanke and Smithville, and there's the hail core on the north side. If there were to be a tornado, we'd be looking right in this area where that little hook is kind of curving around, and it does look like there is potential within this area. I'm going to go ahead and go to the velocity so that we can kind of see the circulation, and it looked pretty tight as it was crossing right over the Rosanke area. Now it's not quite as tight, but we are still seeing the rotation. If it were still holding in, it would be Highway 95 just to the south of the Smithville area. So I need you to go ahead and take your tornado safety precautions in southern sections of Bastrop County, in areas like Smithville, as well as out toward areas south on Highway 95. A tornado warning in effect until 9:45. And it does look like the rotation really was ramping up as it was pushing north of Rosanke and not quite as well defined, but nonetheless, I need you to go ahead and stay in that safe spot as a precaution. Right now, what I'm going to do is look at the shear tracks. This is a way that I can kind of assess where we stand as far as the previous rotation within the storms. So we're going to look first at the shear, and then we'll take a closer look at the potential if there is a debris ball that might be showing up with this tornado warning. And as you can see, we did see a pretty good uptick in the rotation with the storm. Right here, just to the north and east of Rosanke, this little pixel of blue. So if you are in southern Bastrop County in the Rosanke area, this is where the potential tornado would be. It's crossing Highway 95 south of Smithville. It's right near the Stellar area. And this is where I need you to be taking shelter in that safe spot with a tornado warned storm. A tornado warning is in effect until 9:45. So please do everything you can to make sure that you are out of harm's way, to make sure that you can stay safe from the storm, which potentially has a possible tornado. And in addition to that, it has the potential of having some very large hail as well. Speaking of which, I'll go ahead and pop on the hail for you. You can see through the Smithville area, anytime we see these shades of purple, that is indicative of very large hail that could be in excess of quarter size. So from Highway 95 in Smithville to Highway 71, all of this is continuing to push off toward the east. Let me go ahead and look at the latest updated motion of this tornado warning so I can give you a feel for where it's heading and give you some updated timing as far as the storm, which is moving through Bastrop County, moving east at about 25 miles per hour. It continues to be radar indicated. At this point, the National Weather Service has not yet had any reports of a confirmed tornado, but Smithville area, Togo area, not only dealing with hail, but the potential of a tornado, which could potentially be on the ground or developing. So the rotation area looks like it's now pressing eastward through far eastern sections of Bastrop County and now moving into far western sections of Fayette County. So we're going to be focusing in on this area right here where the rotation is really picking up. So right between areas south of Smithville and Highway 71, moving out of Bastrop County and on into portions of Fayette County. Please be in that safe spot, as there is a possibility that we could be dealing with a possible tornado. At the very least, I want to make sure that you're just out of harm's way, because the storm, regardless of whether it's creating a tornado or not, does have the potential to be severe. So it's radar indicated. In addition, hail core could be as much as golf ball sized with this storm. So we've got golf ball sized hail potential, very heavy rain, and rotation, and the possibility of a tornado. So that tornado warning continues until 9:45. The current time right now is 9:31. So Bastrop County and Fayette County, you continue under a tornado warning. And just as we've done with other storms, we're going to stay on the air as long as the threat is with us, as long as the tornado warning is still in effect for the area. To give you some more insight on what we're looking at, severe thunderstorm south of Smithville, especially bringing the hail to Smithville, the rotation, though, to the south of Smithville, right in this area here, moving near this stellar area. There could be a tornado. There could also be hail as large as golf ball sized, and the radar is indicated as opposed to a confirmed tornado, but we're awaiting word from weather spotters on whether there is actually a tornado on the ground. There have been a number of weather spotters that have been out and about throughout the evening, so I am pretty confident that if we do have a touchdown, we will probably hear word. I hope that we don't have damage. Those of you in the West Point area and in the Lena area in Fayette County, this is heading toward you. I need you to go ahead and be in your safe spot with the area of rotation continuing to push off toward the east. Speaking of east, moving to the east at about 25 miles per hour, I'm going to do a storm track. First, I'm going to go ahead and put it into the current mode. So we're starting from the area of potential rotation, which is going to be right in here. And it also looks like maybe some rotation back there, but I would say right in here to the east of Highway 95. There's West Point, here's Highway 71, here's Smithville to the north, Bastrop County, and then the Bastrop Fayette County line. So right in here is where I would be most concerned about a potential tornado. So we're going to start from the beginning of where that area might be, and then we're going to kind of go east and southeast about 25 miles per hour, which is the current speed of the storm. And I'm going to give you some towns and some times for when this potential tornado could potentially make its way toward you. Currently 9:35, current time is 9:33, so you've got 2 minutes to make sure you're in your safe spot. West Point 9:44, Lena 9:48, Plum 9:54, the St. Jerome School right around 9:54, and Fayette Regional Air Center there in LaGrange, or just on the outskirts of LaGrange, 9:58. So this is likely to be pushing through a fairly populated area. If it does hold together all the way into LaGrange, where most of Fayette County, the population center is. So please, if you've got friends or family out in Fayette County, go ahead and give them a call, text them, give them a heads up so that they know that this is headed their way. The tornado warning currently does not extend as far east as LaGrange, but if this storm holds together, then it would then include LaGrange. So just to give you an idea, currently LaGrange, you're in a severe thunderstorm warning, but you can see the tornado warning box from Smithville and then heading to just west of LaGrange. So just consider yourselves at risk, and you need to keep a close eye on this. You can follow along on our CBS Austin weather app. I am also, I believe, streaming on Facebook Live currently. So this is another option that you have if you want to go and take shelter. Just grab your phone, go to Facebook, and you can follow along as we are going to have this coverage for you as well. If there's a tornado, it is right along the Bastrop County, Fayette County line to the southeast of Smithville. I'll zoom in just a little bit closer. We'll see if there are any roads or any towns that I can give you a specific spot. So Kovar, Stellar, Lena, Muldoon, all of you should be in your safe spot right now through areas of far eastern Bastrop County like Kovar and far western sections of Fayette County like Stellar. The rotation, the potential tornado, could be in this area where I'm seeing a little bit of an indication, and there's also potential rotation back a little bit farther west in the Kovar area as well. So in both instances, go ahead and make sure that you're in your safe spot. We're talking lowest level, away from any windows, get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you're in a 2-story house, go down to the first story. If you have a basement, I know many people do not, then go to there. A bedroom, a bathroom, someplace away from windows, all of these are good places. A closet is also a great safe place to go. So watching Highway 95, south of Smithville, the Kovar area, the Stellar area, and eventually the Lena area. And if this holds together, then we could potentially have to worry about you in LaGrange as well. At the very least, we're also dealing with some significant risk of possible very large hail. So there are a number of areas where we're going to be having to contend with potential for damage should a tornado actually touch down. Now, as of yet, we have not had a report of a tornado touching down, but there is radar indication of the possibility. Now, while we're talking about the tornado warning in Bastrop County, I also want to just catch you up on how difficult it has been for driving in the Austin area, which is not advised. Why is that? At one point, there was a report of 30 cars stranded in North Austin in the Duval area at 183. The flash flood warning is in effect for Travis County, and even though the heaviest rain has subsided, it's going to take a while for a lot of those swollen streets, creeks, and streams to subside. So please, Austin Travis County Emergency saying do not drive out on the roads. There have been some pockets in places like Jollyville that have seen in excess of 4 inches of rain in an hour's time. Currently, we have flash flood warnings for the northern half of Gillespie County and a flood advisory from Fredericksburg Point south into far northern sections of Kerr County. We have the current flash flood warning, which means flooding is either imminent or currently occurring in Travis County, and we have had multiple reports. There have even been some water rescues into Wilco, including Cedar Park, as well as Round Rock, Hutto, Taylor, Thrall, Jonah, and areas off toward the north and east near Granger. Points east into Milam County. I'm pleased to say that your flash flood warning that had been in effect has been allowed to expire. So with all that, I want to go back to Bastrop County and Fayette County. You can see the amount of lightning that is with this tornado warned storm, where I still need you to make sure that you are taking shelter if you're in far eastern sections of Bastrop County, including the Smithville area, out towards Stellar, the Kovar area, Lena, and now this is getting really close to LaGrange as well, with these storms pushing to the east at about 20 miles per hour. To give you an idea of the amount of lightning, I will go ahead and query this for you. And it has been such a light show, and there have been such heavy rainfall rates. 320 lightning strikes just within that box that I drew over the tornado warned storm. Now I'm going to remove the lightning radar layer, I should say, and we'll just focus in on the hail core. These bright pixels of that fuchsia purplish color, that is the hail core. And you can see the hook echo of the rotating storm, the supercell thunderstorm that is moving through as well. So I'm going to plot on the hail core, and you can see that it's Smithville area, just to the east of Highway 95, and just to the west of LaGrange along Highway 71. These are the areas right now that could be dealing with hail in excess of quarter size. Now we'll go back and we'll take a look at the shear track, and this is where the rotation has been and is going. So this is taking a look at the history of the rotation within the storm. And it does appear that we've seen the rotation swath from near the Rosanke area, then heading south of Smithville and crossing Highway 95 as it's making its way now into westernmost sections of Fayette County, where there is still a tornado warning in effect until 9:45, and you need to continue to be in that safe place. The rotation would be right over the Stellar area at this point, which is east of Highway 95. As I zoom in a little bit closer, west Old Lockhart Road, north Old Smithville Road. Those are some spots east of Stellar where this rotation center could be, which is where a possible tornado could be. Lena coming up on FM 154. Please be in that safe spot. And again, this is in Fayette County as the storm is exiting out of Bastrop County, at least the rotating area where there would be the most likelihood of seeing a tornado, and moving in to westernmost Fayette County. Here's Anchor Ranch Loop. So we're talking Stellar area, east now of Kovar, southeast of Smithville, and right into the Stellar area and near the Lena area in Fayette County. So if this storm does hold together, we are looking at a storm that could move its way right down the road to the LaGrange area. Right now, based on the low-level rotation, if we were to kind of swing this right through, it would be to near the Lena area and then crossing Highway 77, potentially south of LaGrange. But if the area of rotation actually crosses south of LaGrange, then that means the areas north of LaGrange, or north there, would be where the heaviest hail core would be on the northern flank of that storm. So even if the potential tornado area does not push across LaGrange, you will likely be dealing with the hail. So it's all tracking its way from west to east through Fayette County, which is why the tornado warning is there. In addition, a severe thunderstorm warning. So the tornado warning in effect until 9:45. The severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 10:15 for folks in Fayette County. And I'm continuing to track and keep an eye on any reports. If you are able to safely take a picture of whatever's going on where you are, or some video, tweet it my way. I'm monitoring Twitter as well. Let me know what's coming and what's happening where you are so we can pass that along to other folks. So at least for the Austin area, it is not a tornado threat. It's just flash flooding as the rain is starting to subside and conditions are improving. But for Fayette County, the concern is one thing, and well, among other things, is the tornado warning and the potential of having a possible tornado. So we'll take another look at the radar velocity. We're going to see if that rotation is looking stronger or if it's beginning to show signs of weakening. And it does look like it's kind of broadening out. It was a pretty tight area of rotation right over and near the Rosanke area between Smithville and Rosanke earlier. Now, it's not nearly as tight. It is much broader and spread out. The green, those are winds going toward the radar. The red, those are winds going away from the radar. And I kind of appreciate and like the fact that we're seeing this all kind of spread out and broaden, because that means that the rotation is not as tight. Tighter rotation means more likelihood of a tornado. Weaker, broader rotation means less likelihood of a tornado. That said, we are continuing to watch the potential of a rotating storm that could possibly drop a tornado into portions of now Fayette County, as it looks pretty likely that the worst of the rotation, or the strongest of the rotation, is continuing to head east out of Bastrop County and into Fayette County. So it looks as though it's kind of clearing Highway 95 south of Smithville as we speak. I'm going to go back to the hail to show you where it is, and that's a real indicator of where the northern edge of this storm is as far as the heavy precipitation and that huge hail core. So now it looks as though it's like right south and east of the downtown Smithville area. Hopefully you didn't have too much damage. Anytime we have hail of quarter size or larger, that's enough to ding up your cars, mess up your roof. A lot of insurance adjusters will probably be busy tomorrow, unfortunately. Along Highway 71 heading to LaGrange. So LaGrange, this hail core, unfortunately, is making a beeline right toward you. So make any efforts you can to get something under safety, a garage, a carport, whatever, if you want to try and hopefully mitigate what could be a damaging thunderstorm as far as your property is concerned. However, you need to just be in a safe spot if you are within the tornado warning area, which we're continuing to see. So West Point, you're likely in the thick of the worst of the hail. Lena, you are likely in where the most likely area of rotation would be as we take a look and we watch it kind of slide down to the south. So between Stellar and Lena is where the circulation is, and it has indeed broadened out. It was much, much tighter as it pushed right across through areas north of the Rosanke area, and now it's broadening out. But that said, the National Weather Service, this is great news. Just as I said broadening out, the National Weather Service said we are canceling the tornado warning for Bastrop and Fayette County. So they're seeing what I'm seeing, which is now there's no longer a tight couplet and instead a more broad storm. With that said, we'll stay on top of this. We have all the updates from atxfloods.com, everything that's going on the roadways with the flash flooding situation, lots of storm photos. Our reporters are keeping track of these storms as well, and we'll have all the latest for you coming up in just 15 minutes on CBS Austin News. If another tornado warning is issued, I'll pop back on, but otherwise I will see you in 15 minutes. Thanks.
It just stalled. It slowly stopped, and then as I went a little bit further, the car cut off and started floating.
Dangerous driving conditions out on the roads in central Texas tonight. Dozens of cars got stuck in flash flooding in northwest Austin near Research Boulevard and Duval. Now we're adding hail into the mix. Right now, we want to go to Northwest Austin. That's where Ricardo Lewis is joining us live. Ricardo, at one point, there was about 2 feet of water there and several stranded cars. What are you seeing now?
Walt, there was so much water out here earlier, but what we're seeing right now is it's clear. There's no cars left here. Emergency officials came out to help everybody that was out here. We saw many tow trucks. If my photographer shows you all the way down there, this stretch of the road is still blocked off here. You can see emergency crews still down there. But there were several cars that got stuck in the water here. This is an area that was just underwater from that pounding, pouring rain. Austin Travis County reported the water rescues around 8:30. They say the flood waters were moving slowly. They continue to ask everyone to avoid the area as the road continued to fill up with water. You should be seeing all of that video right now. But first responders continued to report additional cars driving into the water in this area and surrounding areas. And right now, I see a car driving down the road right now because the road is clear. All we see left over is all that mud and dirt that was just washed all over this road. But it is clear now. We spoke to a man. There was a man out here on a golf cart helping everyone that was stuck and helping push those cars out of the street while several tow trucks tried to remove the cars. And we spoke with the man whose Mercedes coupe ran into standing water that flooded the intersection of 183 and Duval here in Northwest Austin. He says he's driven it hundreds of times and he saw a little water on the road and then all of a sudden he was floating.
It just stalled. It slowly stopped, and then as I went a little bit further, the car cut off and started floating. Probably, I know it sounds really crazy, but the scariest time of my life. I floated with it for a little bit because I didn't know what to do. I kind of panicked, and eventually the cars that were passing by kept rushing water into our cars by us trying to open the windows and get out, so it was only flooding us more. And then the car in front of me and I just went out the window.
So again, we're out here at 183 and Duval here in Northwest Austin. The area is clear. I think the area is still closed in this part of the road, but a lot of emergency crews out in different areas of the city right now trying to address those water rescues as this rain falls in these areas and builds up with water. But for now, reporting live in Northwest Austin, Ricardo Lewis, CBS Austin News.
Thanks, Ricardo. Danger on the road right now. A total of 8 water rescues happening this evening. Here's a look at all of them. We saw rescues at Research Boulevard and Duval Road. That's where Ricardo was. Another one took place on Duval Road near Mopac. Another one off 183, the service road near Balcones Club Drive. Another off Longspur Boulevard and North Lamar Boulevard. One person in that incident was taken to the hospital. Then a 5th rescue, North Mopac Expressway near West Howard Lane. Then we got a 6th rescue tonight. We thought we were going to be finished. That was off I-35 and the service road near Walnut Creek. Walnut Creek, always an issue. Then a 7th rescue happening off Cameron Road near East Runberg right now. And just moments ago, we were hearing reports of an 8th water rescue on Gregg Lane. Emergency crews are urging drivers to stay off the road tonight and stay safe. Chief Meteorologist Chicago Windler joining me live now. Dangerous driving conditions. We're worried about Shoal Creek, Waller Creek, all the creeks. Now we're adding dangerous hail into the mix.
Absolutely. Have you ever played baseball?
Yes.
Okay, can you imagine baseball-sized hail coming crashing through your windshield?
That's big.
Right now, we have a warning for Fayette County in the West Point area heading toward LaGrange. Baseball to possibly even grapefruit-sized hail possible.
That's deadly.
So, folks, this is the same system that earlier had the tornado warning on it. It's no longer tornado warned. It does have a severe thunderstorm warning on it, though. And unfortunately, radar is indicating giant hail potential. If you are in Fayette County in LaGrange, there have been multiple reports of hail so far today. None thus far have been as big as what is approaching you in Fayette County. So what I'm going to do is we have flash flood warnings that are still in effect for the Austin area. Those of you who are in that area obviously by now know, do not go through flooded roadways. There's a ton of lightning with this storm that is over Fayette County. And in addition, the hail core is just incredible. Also worth noting, as we take a look at LaGrange and Highway 71, see this right here? That is a hook echo. There is still rotation with the storm. Although it is not currently in a tornado warning, we've got rotation that's just south of Highway 71 and right near Highway 77. So let me leave you with this. Right now, the hail core is starting to drop, But just near West Point and just north of Lena, this radar was indicating grapefruit-sized hail, and it's all heading to the east. We'll keep you updated. If a tornado warning is issued, we'll get right back to you. Walt?
Our crossing map is out, so we want to take you to the Austin Energy power outages. This is the map, and it's currently reporting 6 outages affecting about 413 people, but that could be more throughout the night. Now, looking at the Encore outage map, there's currently 484 outages affecting about 14,000 people. We'll continue to keep you updated on these outages on air and online at cbsaustin.com. And here's what many of you are seeing right now on your phones, and you're reacting to what we're putting out on social media as well. If you have something, let us know about it at CBS Austin. People are reporting torrential rain causing streets and sidewalks to flood. We're seeing all these other stories coming out on social media that we're putting on cbsaustin.com so you can find out what's happening in your neighborhood. Flash floods, there's hail, problems in neighborhoods with power outages. Stay up to date with the weather app. You can get the changing weather conditions in the palm of your hand at CBS Austin. You can go to the Apple Play Store, the Google Play Store, and the App Store to get the latest app on this. The other breaking news we've been dealing with all day long.